Welcome to the very new, very real social media platform called Nuance, where very different people come together to sharpen their tools of logic and make sure that their arguments are the best arguments they can present. So today, we'll be going straight into it to this instructional video and talking about some logical fallacies. What is a logical fallacy? I'm glad you asked. It is where in your argument there isn't a reasonable conclusion drawn from your premises. So in total, what a premise is, we'll go into deeper discussion in later videos, or you yourself could upload it to our social media website here. But continuing on, there are two different types of logical fallacies, each of which have a differing number of categories. So the first being that we'll be talking about is formal fallacies, of which there's four. We'll be covering two today. Bad reason fallacy and quantification fallacy. So going first off, bad reason fallacy. This is the idea that because your reasons are bad or incorrect, your conclusion can't be correct at the same time. Well, if we do some critical thinking and we start thinking about this logic, you can start posing some questions. Like an example of bad reason fallacy would be, because ostriches can't fly, they're not birds. Well, obviously that's not true. So that's one example of the bad reason fallacy. The next logical fallacy is quantification fallacy, or an error in logic. So an example of this would be, all dogs hate some cats. Well, this is impossible to prove, first and foremost. Secondly, I'm sure some dogs love all cats. So you need to be watching out for when you're speaking or trying to project your argument or your reasoning and hitting that wall and suggest it comes up when you're putting big things into general categories. Next, we'll be going into the informal fallacies. The informal fallacies, of which there's a grand total of 44. Again, we're only going to be covering two today to allow you guys to upload those videos on your own. But informal fallacies are arguments in which the conclusion isn't supported by the premise. The examples, or the two fallacies we're going to go over today, are ad hominem and red herring. So ad hominem, which most of you may be familiar with, is in general name calling, right? So an example of this would be a statement like, Bill says that's the best restaurant in town, but Bill's a liar. We can't trust Bill. Well, I mean, first and foremost, you're discrediting his argument with calling him a name, a liar, which may be true or may not be true. But at the same time, that restaurant could still be the best restaurant in town. So when you're going into an argument and you're trying to convey an idea or discuss something, you shouldn't be attacking someone personally. You should be addressing their idea. Last, but definitely not least, is the red herring. The red herring is a distraction tactic in an argument. These informal fallacies are moving away from actually having a discussion and just drawing your attention away to a different thing. So the red herring argument is, an example of that would be, I know I was speeding, officer, but I have to get this book back to the library. I don't want a fine. Do you see how I in that example, I changed the subject of the conversation away from the speeding to what I was trying to do? What my purpose was good, it was okay, but at the same time I was breaking the law, and now I may have to pay double fines. So that's just one example of the red herring. So out of all of these logical fallacies, make sure, and when you're having these discussions, that you're going through with a fine-tooth comb and you're actually addressing the points of the person you're speaking with. If not, we're just two ships sailing past each other in the night. So make sure that you like, upvote, and tick this video, and I will see you next time.